Good morning, everyone. We're on the road, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for all those well wishes. I'm still not over the cold. I'm on the tail end of it, I hope. But thank you very much for your understanding for Friday. It wasn't going to work out. I was croaky, as you would say.
Yeah.
I was croaky. But I'm getting better, and the wedding was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How about we start there?
Yeah. No, it was great. Congratulations to Brody and Jenna on starting their journey together as husband and wife.
What's your last name?
Hey. Hey.
What's your last name? Brody and Jenna, hey. It was a great wedding. I loved it a lot.
Yeah.
Lots of people showed up in the middle of nowhere, Saskatchewan.
That's right. They did. Well, we came from Alberta, but yeah, lots of family and friends came together to celebrate with them. And for those who don't know, Brody is Sahana, the musician who does the music for Don't Stop.
Yeah, our intro. So
for the Levine Show.
If we don't learn to love again, it's all over for us. So the upbeat, jazzy, poppy stuff. No. But he's a great artist. He's a great man, and we're so pleased to see a strong wedding happen.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was really lovely.
So Brody, if you're watching, congratulations. You got a beautiful bride, and I could be more happy for you. Very pleased that in your journey, this is the next step for you.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. We were really honored to be there. Thanks for the invite, and little destination wedding for us for the summer.
I didn't turn off the AC.
You didn't turn off the AC? That's okay.
I didn't turn off the AC.
People, let us know. Do you hear the AC? And if you do, we'll switch it off. And if you don't, we can stay cool.
C'est la vie.
Yeah.
And we also celebrated a 60th birthday with our good friend Paul Derry.
Derry, yeah.
Paul Derry turned 60. So congratulations there. It was a big milestone for him.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look a day over 40.
Well, we're over 40, so that means...
Oh, wow. I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I know. Like, the mind hasn't got the memo. The body has. But, the mind is still pretty young at heart, I'd say.
Yeah, and welcome to our mobile setup. There's no camera changes. We got the one camera. But I got to tell you, when you're going through the lobby with camera equipment up to a hotel room, the front desk give you a look. They do give you a look. But here we are, the Tea and Coffee on the road for the first time. So I hope it works out for you guys. We got the mics, and we got the camera, and we got the stand, and we took off the shade for the lamp, for the light. We're roughing it.
We are.
Levine Show roughing it.
Sorry, give me a second. I am just logging in to make sure that locals, because all of a sudden locals logged me out.
And our lovely boys are going to do a good job, get a little bit of a nap, sleep in, but they're over there for anybody who's worried. No, we didn't leave our boys somewhere else. They're just over there.
Where are your children?
But good morning, everybody. It's really great to be here. It was a busy weekend. We're on our last leg. Heads up, we're not heading to BC now. Yeah. So we're expected to be home for today, actually.
Yeah. Looking forward to being home.
Brian Peckford's birthday is on the 27th, which is the day we were planning to interview him, and he said not on his birthday. Yep. So we'll have to find another time for that. Hello to Ray McGinnis and Curtis Stone. We're going to see you guys another time. Curtis will be at the We Unify event in Calgary, September 19th.
And that's going to be like in 3 weeks, something like that?
Yep. And the next little journey for me is going to be Ottawa, heading out there for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, I think it is. 2nd to the 7th. Yeah, from the Tuesday to the Sunday. Yeah, go cover Detective Helen Bruce, see some people, some good friends out there. And if you're in the Ottawa area and want to meet up, reach out through our website, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah. So how are you feeling? Excited to get home? Yeah, I am. I mean, it's been a long summer of travel, and bless him, our youngest was, when he realized we were going further than usual, he was like, no, I want to go home. I was like, I hear you, buddy, but don't worry, this is just a short trip. Yeah, but no, we're going to be home, and then we're going to be staying home for a bit, and it's you who's going to be doing all the gallivanting and traveling for the next couple months. You'll be missed. Yeah, we're right back at you. But so it's going to be a good time, and this might be there's some more trips in Alberta for me. We're going to Calgary later September. There's more interviews to get, and I definitely want to make sure we're done with our series. We got one more interview last night. Yeah, that's right. Medicine Hat, and it was Drew Barnes who will be joining us later today on this episode. Yeah, no, looking forward to it. Like, he can tell us what he's up to outside of his contribution to the self-determination series that we did. Yep, he was very, very welcoming in his home. That is Jacob's favorite meal.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, spaghetti.
Yes, spaghetti.
And it was a good interview, so stay tuned. So we'll be, now that I'm going to come a little bit early, I'm going to work harder and get some more episodes out because we now have 25 recorded, but only 7 out. So there's a bunch that need to come out and get to you all so we can catch up. So I got a bit of a backlog of work to do, so I'll be busy editing, putting things together, making sure the video and the sound is great for you, and getting it up there. The next episode, though, should be Vincent Kersey, followed by Tom Marazza. So those are the next 2 you should be expecting.
Cool. Look forward to it.
And tomorrow's guests?
Oh, yes. We're talking about Castle Doctrine, and so we're going to have Maxime Bernier and Bruce Pardy, both of who are always a viewer favorite when they come on.
And there will be another gentleman joining us from the Libertarian Party in Alberta, because, of course, Albertans have a very poignant position on Castle Doctrine. And with Danielle Smith's announcement or comment, if you don't want to be shot or beaten up, then don't break into a house. It's as straightforward as that, or as simple as that. So,
yes.
Yep. And if you take a look at Texas on Friday, 2 gentlemen tried to do a home invasion in Texas. They didn't get past the doorway, and they met their maker.
FAFO.
Yeah, so in Texas, they don't mess around. And these gentlemen were dressed up as police officers. They were imitating police officers. And, yeah, they didn't get very far. Bulletproof vests and all, but that's Texas. That's Texas.
They came prepared.
Yep.
My goodness.
But what you don't see in the headline is the men were charged. That's not how that went down in Texas.
It doesn't.
Same thing in Illinois. A couple days ago, a woman heard somebody breaking in. She went upstairs to her bedroom with her baby, kid in the bedroom, possibly even the closet.
I think so.
And the intruder made his way up with a screwdriver all the way to the bedroom, and he met his maker too. So when it comes to the conversation about Castle Doctrine and self-defense, there is a very big difference. So we're going to get into that a lot more tomorrow. But there's a lot of liberals and squishy people online saying we have self-defense in Canada. It just has to be reasonable force. That's kind of the problem. Yeah, Castle Doctrine is very different. Castle Doctrine basically says you can protect yourself however you need to with force, deadly force inclusive. Canada, that's not the case. Canada, you're going to have to go to court and prove it was reasonable force. So we're going to get into that a lot because the intruder in Lindsay was armed. He was actually charged with possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose. It means he was armed. And the other gentleman was also armed with a knife. So in the U.S., that would be a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly, a no-brainer. And apparently in Canada, we think very differently. We shouldn't.
Yep.
But the powers that be do.
Yeah, and even Danielle's little comment there also said that. She said in Alberta, we had a similar situation, and the Crown couldn't secure a conviction, so they dropped it. But that also meant there was a charge. The Crown reviewed it and decided not to pursue it for purposes of not being able to secure a conviction. So in Castle Doctrine, that wouldn't be a case. Yeah. You went to someone's property and you get harmed, that's on you. In Canada, it's the self-defense laws that kick in, and then it's almost up to you, the one defending yourself, to show that you had reasonable force and a reasonable response. So that is the difference. There's a lot of people saying, we do have these protections in Canada. No, we don't. We don't have Castle Doctrine. Castle Doctrine is a specific thing. We have self-defense. That puts a burden on the person protecting themselves. Whereas in Castle Doctrine, that's just not the case. You can literally kill somebody who has a screwdriver, and that's going to be okay. They should not be in your bedroom.
Correct. That's, yeah, correct. I was just going to go somewhere, but I figured that's not. It's Monday morning. Yeah.
And Wednesday, we're expecting David Parker to join us.
Okay, great. Oh, yes. So
and Thursday, I'm working on that guest as well. It's somebody who we were trying to get for quite some time. He hasn't confirmed. If you're on X, you know him. I'm going to keep his name a little secret now until we can confirm with him. But it has to do with the response in Edmonton when it comes to the worship and a certain group that is going all over Canada trying to stop the worshiping. The LGBTQXYZ MLP exclamation point group. We'll be having a conversation with somebody who is from that group who does not agree with what they're doing and is embarrassed and thinks it's time for them to stop.
Yep, and well done to those who stood strong at the Alberta legislature and worshipped.
Absolutely. And congratulations, or what, for the Ottawa Pride Parade being canceled by the Queers for Palestine. That was an interesting combination. You heard about that one?
Well, yeah, I'd originally heard that it was the pro-Palestinian protest that had stopped it, and then I was just chatting with you this morning that you'd clarified it's the Queers for Palestine who stopped the protest. So
it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because the way it was worded was they wanted to have a conversation with the organizers, the marshals, the main people there, and I guess the pride side of things didn't have that conversation, decided to cancel. But I thought they were inclusive. Why was the Queers for Palestine not part of the Pride Parade?
Don't know, mate. Let these people sort themselves out. I have no idea.
Eat their own.
They eat their own.
It's
and
like
that's
that
what
snake
I said.
that eats its own tail, right?
That's what I said to you this morning. They're eating themselves. But
there are a lot of conservatives just watching this going, wow, this is interesting to see how this one pans out.
Yeah, exactly.
But even the Palestinians aren't happy with the Queers for Palestine. They know that because they don't accept that ideology.
Exactly. That's why I kind of roll my eyes regarding this whole situation, because the alphabet people that are pro the Middle East are not pro you. So you can have your protest in the West, you couldn't have it out in the Middle East.
You can have it in the West, but not in the rest.
Yeah, near enough. Yeah, exactly. Poet, and you know it.
Yeah, I'm on fire. It's a desire.
That would be the case if you were in the Middle East.
Oh my gosh, you went there.
I went there, exactly, yeah.
Oh boy. But and also big thumbs up and congratulations to Chris Dacey, who's been doing some good work covering this stuff. He's now part of the Independent Press Galley, like myself. Jonathan, there's also Right
Blend, yep.
Yeah,
sure.
He got his as well. So congratulations to that organization, recognizing independent journalists and providing some credentials, at least enough credentials in Ontario to go ahead and cover the court and probably get into the press galley at the legislature. Yeah,
no, I'm really pleased with them. Again, there's one more notch of recognition. Like, we recognize the work that they do consistently. And I just, may just be a laminate piece of paper, but it holds some weight and enables them to be more credible in the eyes of the other media. So I'm really pleased for them.
Yep. And I'll just grab mine. I carry mine with me too, because every once in a while you need some credentials, right? Yeah. So he's got one of these now. So congratulations to the Independent Press Galley for doing good work and recognizing true journalism. And as we saw, Chris Dacey was outperforming CTV News.
Yeah, well done. Well done to Chris. And it was a very good point that he made in regard potentially Canadian troops being sent to Ukraine, boots on the ground. That is I think it's a concern for any parent, for any nation that has people of age who can represent and fight for them. I think it notches up another level when it's not your war. And I think that is a major concern that Canadians have. And it's also when it's not your war that you don't want to be affiliated with. So, yeah, it's just really something to be aware of and concerned about, I think.
Yeah, make sure you take a moment here and follow us on X and Facebook and YouTube and all those kind of things. But on X, I'm Jason Levine AB, and this is Team Page, PHA, for Paula Jay. And if you can, give us a like and subscribe, or to kind of ask you guys to do that, because that helps us get out there. And if you want to help support independent journalism, you can become a member at thelevineshow.com. That's on X. No, that's on Rumble via Locals. Yeah. And we're now on YouTube memberships, too. So if you want to do that as well. You can also subscribe on X now for us.
Oh.
It's a couple bucks a month, but anything you can do helps. It gets us on the road, and we do this kind of thing on the road sometimes. So thank you for all your support to everybody who's done that. We appreciate that. Sorry for the plug, but we do need to keep the lights on, quite literally.
Yeah, that's true.
And Mark Carney has been busy. Let me go ahead and bring some of this stuff up for you.
Yeah, go on then.
So go on then. Yeah, so there you go. Jason Levine AB. That's what it will look like. There are some imposters out there. Ignore them. It's flattering. I'm still on the ballot, and we're going to get into some more election stuff today here with Drew Barnes, who's running for mayor of Medicine Hat. Great man, three-time MLA. One of the ones that didn't cross the floor as a wild rose. And he's not somebody who bends to pressure, and his integrity is very high. So we'll get into some of that. But when Mark Carney speaks, sometimes you should listen. As much as it makes you cringe, I know it does with me. He just got one of those voices like Trudeau that bother me. But here he is. He's kind of bragging about Canada per capita spending more than any other nation on supporting Ukraine. Raise those hands up. So when you're looking around, you're seeing those tent cities all over the place, and you're seeing the challenge for other Canadians. Here's kind of why we're sending billions somewhere else.
Billions with a B. Exactly.
Yeah, not millions, but billions.
But billions, yeah.
And another thing I'm highlighting here in my post is per capita, Canada takes in more immigrants than any other nation. So when you add those two together, we're spending more than any other nation, and we're receiving more than any other nation. I don't think that's very sustainable.
And we're subsidizing more than any other nation, because that's what we're doing to those that we're bringing in.
Sure, that's kind of part and parcel with bringing people to your country. You got to kind of take care of them. So I don't know if that's sustainable. People are asking, why is Carney doing this? And I think he's kind of buying favor to Europe. And as we're going to see in a moment here, possibly some free trips to Europe for some young people. Yeah, that's what he says. Before we get there, my good friend Chris Dacey is outperforming CTV News. So CTV put out the post that said Carney's talking about boots on the ground for Canadians in Ukraine. Oh boy. Reason number 136 for Alberta to leave is we don't get dragged into wars that are not ours, and we certainly don't want to be sending our sons and daughters out to a European never-ending war where 1.7 million Ukrainians have already died. That's why they're looking for more people to take that front line. And Carney not only sending money, but he wants to send our children.
Yeah. No, thanks. That's just my personal opinion. As a side note, so Mary, we're anticipating Drew's going to be joining us at 7:30 Mountain Time.
Yeah, typically our guests are the second half of the show, Mary. So thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, and we'll be talking to Drew in 10 minutes or so. But congratulations to Dacey, who's doing better than CTV. CTV had a bigger reach, less likes than Dacey. And keep it up, buddy. Good work there. Here we go. So more Carney, like he's just been making the headlines.
Yeah, busy weekend for him.
Yeah. So again, with the boots on the ground. So this is what I've been warning about for Carney for quite some time. Over 2 years ago now, I pulled up a post from over 2 years ago warning you that Carney's coming to take over Trudeau's position as our PM. And it's because Trudeau failed at getting Canadians upset enough to get more involved, not just in the Ukrainian war, but to fight each other here.
He tried, though.
He tried.
He tried.
But Carney is doing a much better job. He's splitting Canada. He's dividing us. He's putting us against each other. With the elbows up, that would be a great example. The elbows came down. It's just crazy what this guy's doing. But I do think this is another reason for Alberta to seriously take a look at our options, which includes disconnecting from the monarch, and something Drew is very passionate about, and Ottawa, because then we don't get dragged into situations like this. And we got young boys.
Yeah.
So I definitely do not want to see anything like this happening.
I agree.
And another one. Yeah. So in his brilliance, Carney went on in front of the camera and said 34 years ago, Ukraine declared its independence. And in his video, he's talking about Canada was one of the first nations to recognize Ukrainian independence, Kosovo as well. So keep it up. You should recognize Alberta's independence.
Yeah, there may be another press conference from Carney in about a year's time or so to recognizing Alberta. Hey, you never know.
We'll see. Yeah, the Forever Canada petition, they're still out there collecting signatures, but I think we've gotten our first results. It's not going well. And what I mean by that is I'm reading between the tea leaves here. He's 1 month in, and he's got 3 months total, 90 days total, to collect almost 300,000 signatures. And what we don't have at this stage is a tally. He hasn't bragged about anything.
Exactly, like, 10,000 done or whatever. Sure.
Correct. And the first month is going to be when he collects the most, because all of the people that were ready and wanting and willing will come out in the first month. So you would expect him to say, hey, look, we got 200,000. We only need 100 more. He's saying nothing. And the only number I've seen so far is an event in Calgary over 2 days or something like that, 8,000 signatures. That's not nearly enough. He needs something like 3,000 signatures a day, every day. And if he's only bragging about one city, Calgary, which would be a place where you can pick up a lot of signatures, and you only got 8,000 there, not 30 or 40,000, I don't think he's going to make it.
There's a Facebook group for Spruce Grove area, and then recently there's been a post on like, hey, come to this location, forever candidate signatures, blah blah blah. And it's starting to irritate some of those Facebook members, because now they're saying, how come this page is all of a sudden turned political? Enough of this, report it to the admin. So because they're pushing it, I will say that, but it's also becoming an irritant, because you're using some of the Facebook groups, community groups, like buy and sell groups, to promote it, and they're like, this is not what it's for.
Nope. And this is why the APP did it the way they did, which was to get the intention ahead of time, collect that information ahead of time, get to certain numbers before they took steps.
Yeah.
The reason being is they don't want to be out there with hat in hand asking. They want to know who's willing, so they can go straight to the door to get the signature, and that's exactly what they're doing. Some of the numbers is Forever Canada said they have 3,000 volunteers. APP has 20,000 volunteers. And if that's any indication on, the support that they have, he's not going to come close to making it. They're going to come close to making it. Now, if that happens and he doesn't make the petition, doesn't reach the numbers, do you think this would be a boost for separation?
I certainly think it could be indicative of that's not where the common man is leaning towards. Sure.
Common man. I definitely think it would be a huge boost, because if they couldn't get enough signatures together to stop, and they couldn't stop, by the way, it's more of a poll. It's more of an opinion poll, because it can't actually create policy. There's nothing binding about this petition, and it's more of a temperature of the waters. And I think if he can't get the 300,000 signatures, or 290 something thousand signatures, then he's done. And by the way, it shouldn't be 300,000 signatures. It should be like 350,000 or so, because some of them are not going to be valid. Like,
that's
once they check, he needs 290,000 valid signatures in order to push ahead with a referendum.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to come close. Yeah. And I think that is also, like I said, taking the temperature of the waters. And maybe Alberta does want to move. Maybe these mainstream media polls are not truthful.
No.
Just saying. But some of the stuff that we're seeing is a tremendous amount of support. It's growing every single day. There's just one issue left: pension plan.
Yeah.
The pension plan. Pensioners receiving the Canadian pension plan need to be comfortable and confident that they're going to get the same or more with the Alberta pension plan before they get comfortable enough with the idea of separating from Ottawa.
And that's understandably so, because you've worked hard. This is your pension now to take you through, because you're no longer working. It's completely understandable, and that's where I would just say go out and attend these meetings, because it is explained, and there's a lot of information out there to make you feel rest assured that your pension is safe. Your CPP will be there, quite honestly, irrelevant of where you're living, because that's the whole point. There are conditions in place that you could be living in Timbuktu and you're still entitled to your CPP. So living in a separate Alberta would not affect it either. So.
And that's actually literally correct. You can live in Timbuktu, which is a place in the U.S., but if you paid into the Canadian pension, you do get it. And that wouldn't stop. And now if Alberta withdraws from the Canadian pension plan and replaces it, which is a mechanism that's allowed, Quebec does it, there's a whole formula to get it done. We as a province would get a lump sum, and then we need to start cutting checks. APP, Alberta Alberta Prosperity Project, even Danielle Smith during her Alberta Next panel explains this, how this could actually work. And there's no concern there. Of course, you'll be taken care of. And in a prosperous Alberta, you're going to get more pension, and it's going to cost less to buy into it. So it's a win-win. And why? It's because our pension plan, we're overpaying right now. Alberta's overpaying to the Canadian pension plan, and we're not seeing it back. Canada's kind of using that money. We're not even sure how much there is, because they won't tell us, even though Danielle Smith has won a couple court cases to force Ottawa to give us the numbers. They're not giving us the numbers. And if you listen to people like Nadine Wellwood, the reason is it's already underwater. The Canadian pension plan is failing. It's not returning. Drew talks about this as well, so we might get into that. But if you're a pensioner and you want to make sure, and you're in Alberta, that you continue with a pension, the best bet is to support a Alberta pension plan. And if you're going to do that, that was the last major hurdle for most people when it comes to independence, was whether or not their pension will be safe.
Yep. And then this Pietro here says, I thought they legislated our pension plan so the pension will not be affected. Exactly. You could live. I mean, otherwise that'd be the case of every retiree in Canada needs to retire in Canada. And that's not the case. There's many people who retire abroad and they're still entitled to their pension.
And exactly what he's talking about, that is if we continue with the CPP.
Correct.
Of course, you still get it even if Alberta left. It's a deal between you and Canada and the fund, so it doesn't matter where you live. But the second part to that is if we take over and it actually gets moved to Alberta, it'll be far more prosperous. We're not going to be subsidizing the rest of Canada on that one.
Yeah.
And another conversation I had with Drew we might get into is why shouldn't Alberta do the same things that Quebec has? We're not reinventing the wheel.
Correct.
The police force, personal taxes, controlling immigration, pension. These are absolutely things that Albertans and the rest of Canada, frankly, should be looking at doing.
Agreed. And they're making it seem like Alberta wanting to do all of these things is just mean old Alberta who wants to separate and not want anything to do with Canada. Yet, Quebec has created the template from years ago. So I find it very, very interesting that there's certainly a rule for thee.
But not for we.
But not for we. Exactly, but not for we.
100%. Now, if you go to Danielle's what's next panel, that's what she's talking about. She's not talking about separation at all or secession from Canada. She keeps that off the table. The audience sure wants to talk about it.
They want to talk about
both sides. The sides that say don't do it, and then the other side that says, why are we talking about this? We should just do it. Because all of these issues that Danielle's bringing forward would be under an independent Alberta as well, which could be a step in that direction. But we'll see. Now, Danielle did refuse to sign the petition from Forever Canada again, because she was asked in Edmonton. Now it looks like the press is picking it up. She's refusing to sign it. And people are saying, well, that means she's a separatist. No, she's just staying
impartial,
nonpartisan. She's not going to sign any petition. I'm sure she won't sign the APP one either.
Correct, yeah.
And that's what you kind of expect for a leader, is let the people choose. Don't pick a side. But that's what that group is doing. They're literally saying she needs to pick a side. And because she won't, that must mean she's on the other side. Nope. I think she's not going to sign any petition. And the one signature is not going to make or break.
No, it won't. And the funny thing is, if the Forever Canada people are going to argue that, if she's not signing out, it must be she's for them. Sure, go ahead. Sure, exactly. Take that as you will, and then maybe the rest of the people who follow her will be like, yeah, maybe we should be too.
So we have time for a couple comments before we add Drew.
Sure. Let's have a quick look here. I'm just going to bring my laptop.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us on our on the road edition of Tea and Coffee. Yes.
And Becky, there is a silent majority, I think. I think there's a ton.
I think we're going to see the same thing that happened with Trump in 2016, which was the polls said Hillary's going to win. I think it was a 98% confidence that she was going to win.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people who didn't vocally say they were going to vote for Trump, but when they got there, they voted for Trump. I think we're going to see the same thing here for separation, especially amongst First Nation Indigenous people. Because when they sit there and think about it and ignore what their chiefs are saying, it's going to be prosperous for everybody. You're going to be recognized. Everybody's going to have proper rights in Alberta, protected rights. We're not going to have Ottawa stepping all over them anymore. It's good for everybody. So I think there's going to be a lot of secret yeses.
So here's an interesting comment here from Mary. Me and my husband could have filed for our pension, but haven't filed as we were waiting for the Alberta pension plan. Why?
Why? Why? Go ahead. You're entitled to it. You earned it. You should be going ahead with it. And no matter what happens, if there's another pension plan, whether it's in addition to the CPP or a replacement for the CPP, you'll already be in line and ready to go, Mary. So I don't know why you would hold off. Go ahead and you've earned it. I would say go ahead and file.
For sure. And comment here, there will be no pension left if Carney has his way. Spend till the country is broke beyond repair.
Donna, I believe that that's true. If you listen to people like Nadine Wellwood, we're already there. It's being propped up with the payments now, kind of like a Ponzi scheme is the way she puts it. they got to collect as much as they can from the younger people just to pay off, like a Ponzi scheme. But it's already underwater. And I believe Carney's old group wanted to manage some of that fund too. Conflict of interest, maybe.
And then Becky. Oh, and by the way, happy moving day for Becky. She moved last Thursday. Welcome to. Oh, you're now a little bit closer to us than you were. So I hope everything went smoothly for you. I saw you already went for a walk in your new neighborhood. So I hope everything goes smoothly with all the unpacking for you, Becky.
Yep, and we just got a message from Drew. He's about to join.
Yeah, I have nothing nice to say about Lukusuk. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Lukusuk. Lukusuk. I'm
not a fan either. He was with the Progressive Conservatives of Alberta. He was a deputy premier at one point. He's not conservative. He's getting support out of the NDP for sure. He replicates their messaging, and he's just, I think, trying to get a bunch of attention and be relevant again. But he picked the wrong side and the wrong boat to row, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
I think what he's done, though, is good for any movement because it's brought attention to it.
It's encouraged conversation. It's encouraged those who, to get information. So I think it has been beneficial. And even if you want to vote for the different side, for sure. Like, I have an opinion, you have an opinion. They can be different. I just want both of us to be as informed as possible to have that opinion. That at the end of the day. And then if you still want to vote for whatever, that's fine. Base it on truthful information you've received, and your opinion is formed from that.
Absolutely. We still meet a lot of people that say they want to stay in Canada. They love Canada.
Met one last night.
Yep. And it makes sense that they have their opinion. But I would ask them to kind of look into more of the history of Alberta within Canada. How did we become a province? How are we being held back? Why are we not as prosperous as we could be? What policies coming out of Ottawa are harmful to us? And what it could mean if we are out from underneath that particular Liberal Party that's harming us. And also the Conservative Party, who keeps promising to help us, but not enough, not providing us enough, nor are they going to get into power anymore. So I think a lot of Canadians love Canada, but a lot of Albertans understand that we're being harmed.
Yeah.
Okay. So Drew, you need to actually come into the studio.
Oh, and before I forget as well, happy belated anniversary to the good friends of ours. Their anniversary was on Friday. So B and B, happy 16th wedding anniversary. Hope you had a lovely day and weekend together.
Let me double check that I gave him the right link. Maybe not.
Dun dun dun.
I'm gonna refresh. All right, so that'd be my bad. He's in an old studio link. There we go. My bad. My bad.
But let me just have a quick look. So yeah, Becky said it was great. She loves her area and it's one of the best decisions. For sure, I'm really glad. We kind of got to explore that area when Jason was running for Parkland federally. So yeah, it is a really nice area. I like it too. Let me just have a look here. What else?
Yeah, my bad. I gave him Thursday's link. Oh boy. Refresh and then provide the right link. So he's going to be jumping on any moment now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. And then Mary Wall, what the heck? The new chief health officer of Alberta. Is he, though? I think he's the interim. I don't think he's the new permanent health chief of Canada. And yes, he does certainly have a shady history with regards to him being classed as our new health officer.
The interim one?
Yes. Because I don't think he's not permanent, and the new permanent one hasn't been assigned.
I didn't follow that news. I know about the police one. People aren't happy with him and his connections to Nigeria, but I have a connection to Nigeria.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Nigeria is not completely shady, but just ignore the emails.
Not completely. Certainly, there is some issues there.
Yeah, no.
You left for a reason.
No, I did leave for a reason. There was a lot of religious unrest at the time and instability within the government or in the country. And so, yeah, my parents made the decision of, let's time to move out of here. And we came to Canada. We came to Canada through sponsorship because we had family who's well established here for decades. And then, we built our life. And that's how immigration legal immigration works. You work hard to earn the right to stay in the country, and not just, hey, I want a student visa and then I want to bring up my entire family over. So yeah, I'd agree. There's ways to do it correctly, and every Western nation, I would say, is dealing with this issue, and it needs to be dealt with correctly. Otherwise, you are going to upset your citizens of the country who've worked hard, who've paid into, example, for their CPP or their pension plan, and they don't want to see their country go down the toilet, quite honestly.
There's a headline about this gentleman who was selling the Trump burger, and he's being deported. And the press is putting it out there like a gotcha on Trump supporters. Like, gotcha. But actually, that supports Trump's position. Like, it doesn't matter if you supported him or not. If you're illegal, you're illegal. And they're going to go ahead and deport you. And there's Drew Barnes. There we go.
Morning,
I am so sorry, my friend. I am so sorry.
No
my bad.
No worries at all. We're good to go. It's early morning, and you guys have been traveling. Okay, there we are. There we are. What's going to work?
I gave you the wrong link. Completely my bad. Let's make sure your audio's good. It sounds like you're great. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries at all. No worries. Well, nice to see you guys in Medicine Hat, and nice to see the work you're doing. It's good to have neutral discussions and topics, and let's get to the bottom of things.
Absolutely. I enjoyed your interview. You're a very bright man, a 3-term MLA. You're one of the ones that didn't cross the floor when Wild Rose, some of them did. And you're very honest and open, which I really like. It's refreshing because it doesn't make you a politician, does it? It makes you one of the people.
Actually, thank you for that, Jay. I hope more politicians become themselves. When I was first elected in 2012, and the overwhelming amount of talking points, and you were taught to block and pivot rather than just say the truth and say where you're headed and what your constituents are telling you. One of the joys I've had in my time in politics is knocking on doors and talking to people. There's so many good ideas out there, and it's got to be frustrating for many citizens, for many taxpayers who can't get their good ideas in legislation, never mind even heard.
And you have some more ambitions now. You're running for mayor.
Yeah, exactly. I've lived in Medicine Hat since 1974. My wife Frances and I raised our 3 boys, and there's no place I'd rather live than Medicine Hat. And I still have the desire to serve. I feel it's important that all of us be involved in politics and communicate with each other and talk about the values of fiscal conservatism, fiscal freedom, and the opportunity for hope and getting ahead. And our council's a mess here. The city hasn't grown. Medicine Hatters are frustrated. So I had approximately 100 Medicine Hatters ask me the last year and a half to run. So I decided to do it.
Congratulations. And you're looking at 2 other people that are planning to be on the ballot as well. We've filed our paperwork, Paula for the school board, myself as counselor. And I do believe that you have the right approach here. The local government is where we can make a lot of change. And one of the things I think we all agree on is smaller government is one of the avenues we need to start looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with those 2 things. Government has grown exponentially the last few years. Taxes and debt and the affordability crisis because of inflation and all the spending the government's doing. There's no room left for families, for individuals, for businesses. And that takes away our hope. That takes away our opportunity to help each other. Again, I get frustrated with our current UCP government, who, when we all were Wild Rose in 2012, we tried hard we talked anyway about smaller government and lower taxes, and here we are with Danielle, actually the same tax level as Rachel Notley had when she was elected in 2015. Yeah, sure, we had a small little income tax reduction 3 or 4 months ago, but that was accompanied with a bigger property tax educational component increase. So it was from one pocket to the other. And I don't know, there's lots of ways to look at it, but one of the things that I came across, in America, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes at one point said, taxes are the price to pay for a civilized society. And when he said that, Jay and Paula, taxes were 3% of your income. Taxes today are over 50%, plus GST, plus, property transfer taxes, plus property taxes, plus fees and fees and fees. And, sadly, and Medicine Hat is a good example of it. Medicine Hatters want to work hard, want to help each other, but our economy feels very, very stagnant. Our retail economy, there's lots of vacancies. Our commercial economy, there's even more. Oil and gas is pretty stagnant, and a lot of young people just want to get out and get to work and provide for themselves, their families, and their friends, and they can't do it. But again, I'm so pleased that you and Paul are running locally, because if you can make a difference, it's local, where you have some impact, where you can directly help your neighbors. One of my frustrations with my 3 terms as MLA is I only had the opportunity for 2 private member bills while I was there. There's a draw system that makes it almost impossible to get in. The first one, the Progressive Conservative government defeated in 20 minutes. And the second one, I never got a chance to get it to the floor. It just expired on the floor. And that was 11 years. So locally, more things can be done, and you can have a bigger impact, and it starts locally.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your support on that one, and I agree. And everybody, there's still time. You have time to go ahead and get your nomination papers in, your intent to run. And if this is something that you feel calling to do it. Give it a run. We need to get some more common sense and stronger voices in our municipal councils, on the county, inside of your towns and your cities, even as mayor. So congratulations, Drew, as well.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I completely agree, and that's our sentiment as well. Get involved in your community, the local politics, try and provide positive influence, and let them also realize that there's competition out there. Let them not just sit back and just think that, oh, we'll just get another run at this with no issues. No, they need to show that people want change. People want to stand up, and that hopefully they will then, sharpen their own pencil and improve if they win again.
Yeah. Now, Drew, one of the things that you got involved in was the Fair Deal panel under Jason Kenney, and Danielle Smith is doing the Alberta Next panel, which feels very similar to that. Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts about the Fair Deal panel, and what are you thinking about Alberta Next panel?
Well, Jason Kenney labeled the Fair Deal panel a release valve for frustrated Albertans. And of course, we've seen nothing change, nothing accomplished since that report came out. And it goes back, Jay and Paula, much further. Ralph Klein had a Fair Deal panel, I think it was in 2006. Nothing happened after that. Stephen Harper, Ted Morton, and others wrote the infamous firewall letter. I think that's like 26 or 27 years ago now, saying that Alberta, to get a fair deal from Ottawa, stay part of Canada, but to get a fair deal, we needed to collect our own taxes, have our own pension, control over immigration, and none of that's happened either. So here we have Danielle doing the same useless exercise, spending hundreds of thousands of taxpayer dollars, and it's she knows what needs to be done. I was very disappointed with her when she stayed completely out of the pension plan debate that just happened 6 or 8 months ago, and now the UCP has quietly abandoned any topic, discussion about the pension plan. To me, the solution there is simple: just make it optional. If you want to stay in Canada and have a smaller pension, that's up to you. If you'd like to join a new Alberta pension with more return, with more opportunity, that would be a good choice, but that again would be up to you. And I mean, I know there's a lot of seniors that have worked hard all their life, paying taxes and building their communities. But what we're looking at is I think it's every dollar that you and your employer put in there. And keep in mind, every time you paid a dollar, your employer matched it. It gets like a 2.1% return. It's not even keeping up with inflation. And we all know clearly, Jay and Paula, that it's not near enough for a senior to retire on. So that system is broken. And again, I was disappointed that she being Danielle Smith didn't do something to further move along that discussion. The end of the day, that's what it's about. Us, and I think it's why a lot of people are not getting involved in politics. They feel things are out of their control. They feel the change is hopeless. And I'll just add to what you said, Paula. Get involved, but you don't even have to be a candidate. Phone one of the candidates you like or you might like and ask them, him or her, what they believe in, and knock on doors for them, deliver flyers for them.
Volunteer, right?
Yeah, go get out the vote. Yeah, absolutely. There's lots to do, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun to be with like-minded people. It's fun to hear other people's ideas, and in a democratic, safe way, it's fun to debate with people that feel different.
And if you ever get the opportunity to have spaghetti with Drew and his wife, great conversations at dinner too. Very political. We're all talking. Great minds think alike, and it was a fun time with you.
Thank you very much. And Frances made great spaghetti, didn't she?
Yeah,
it was delicious.
So as there's a Forever Canada group going around, we'll see how successful they are. Thomas, we were talking about that a little bit earlier before you joined us. I don't think he's going to be successful. I think he'd be bragging about his numbers if he was coming close at this stage, but he's not. Do you think that's harming, helping, or indifferent to any movement for separation?
Well, collectively and individually, people are smart, and if it failed, that would be intelligent. That would be sage. What a lot of people have said to me is, why would we give up any leverage with Ottawa? Here we have people running around signing a petition that hurts Alberta's opportunity to leverage with Ottawa. So if the petition failed getting out of the gate, that would be great. That would show that most Albertans immediately recognized that giving away some of our leverage is not a way to build a stronger position with Ottawa. Keep in mind that it's not only that we ship $20 to $30 billion a year to Ottawa. They're punitive. They don't allow us to build pipelines. They don't allow us to sell Eastern Energy Pipeline to sell oil and gas to Eastern customers. So not only do they take from us, they don't allow us to prosper. And Jason, I can't help but remember every time we get here that in 1930, Alberta Premier Brownlee pushed hard so Albertans would get from Ottawa resource ownership. Up until then, we didn't even own our own oil and gas, although, of course, at that point, Ontario rather than Quebec did. And don't forget Peter Lougheed in 1976 when Pierre Elliott Trudeau tried to nationalize the oil and gas industry. We'd have ended up like Venezuela, for goodness sakes. Lougheed pushed back hard. You remember the bumper sticker, let the Easterners freeze in the dark, and that worked. So sometimes you have to push.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that a lot of people are pushing, and whether we support the panel or not, there's more people showing up and yelling that we need to leave. Let's stop doing these conversations. You already have the answer. It's starting to feel like when you're trying to uninstall software and it's like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And we're getting to the point where we're kind of fed up of answering the are you sure step. Let's go ahead and have this conversation.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, exactly. Well, when I was on the Fair Deal panel, that's 2000, so that's a few years ago now. Hundreds of Albertans went to the mic and 80% said they wanted change. A big percentage of that wanted out and out independence, but a bigger percentage wanted different aspects of change. Alberta is unfairly represented on the Supreme Court. That was mentioned a lot. Of course, the elections are decided before we even close our polls. So we wanted more MPs based on our population. Likewise, the Senate. Likewise, an end to equalization. When you look at all the economic programs that the government has, they are so biased towards every other part of Canada except Alberta and Saskatchewan. And Albertans, one after another, went to the mic, and 80% said, let's push for change. And, here we are. And again, I look at Premier Smith. Here we are 2 or 3 years into her mandate, and there's been talk. Nothing's changed. I guess she gave Prime Minister Carney kind of an ultimatum that he think it was 9 things that he has to do within a few months, and I guess that's coming up in the fall. I haven't seen him do anything. Let's see what her reaction is when that continues.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I was there in Bonnyville when she gave that ultimatum of 6 months. She also called him pragmatic, thought he was a decent person who would understand the needs of Alberta. There was a good chuckle in the crowd when she said that. And then when Mitch Sylvester, the CEO of APP, he was hosting that event, he asked the crowd, "Are you ready to go?" It was clear. The answer was yes. And then Danielle asked, "Are you willing to hold and have some hope that this will work?" Crickets. I don't even think the crickets made a sound. She did not get support for that at all.
Yeah, well, there you go. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Like Carney and calling him pragmatic was interesting. Like look at yesterday, while the U.S. and world leaders are meeting to end the war in Ukraine and Russia, he gives $2 billion more of our debt. We are so deep in debt to fuel the fire. Like he's not even on side with the rest of the world. Never mind, not invited. And I don't know, Jay and Paula. I think we all agree that if Alberta's stronger, Canada will be stronger, your family will be stronger, your neighbor will be stronger. We can be a real leader in freedom and free enterprise and wealth creation. We just have to show up.
A couple of things he also said while in Ukraine was per capita, Canada has given more than anybody else to Ukraine. And he also said boots on the ground for Canadians in Ukraine is something that could be happening. He certainly didn't remove that option.
Oh yeah, how scary and misguided is that? Of course, Starmer in Britain said that a few months ago and backed up quick from it. Yeah, and the Canadian military, as we all know, God bless our men and women who have served and are serving, but they're so under-recognized, underfunded, under-sophisticated. I'm frustrated with politicians that are all talk.
Yeah. Now, one thing I didn't mind Carney say recently was he recognized the independence of Ukraine. 34 years ago, Canada was one of the first to recognize their Declaration of Independence. And here he is on the news saying, he supports that and recognizes the Declaration of Independence. Do you think he'll be as accommodating to Alberta's Declaration of Independence when that day comes?
Well, who knows? But let's see what this deadline of Danielle Smith gets. It's just a time delay. It's not going to change anything. But it's a step, and it's how she reacts to it. And again, it's back to the local importance of making sure your house is in order, making sure your community is in order. And the frustrating part down here in Medicine Hat right now is so many men and women, particularly young men and women, want to get to work, want to work hard, want to get ahead. And there's not much hope right now.
Well, speaking of hope, what kind of hope are you going to bring to Medicine Hat when you become mayor? The first thing I'm going to ask you about is strong mayors. This is a power that's in Ontario, making its way across the country. This provides the mayors with the ability to work with CAOs without the input or vote from council to do things like passing budgets and hiring and firing and some other powers. What are your thoughts about the strong mayor powers, and would you use it?
Oh, I'm against it, and of course I wouldn't use it. I believe that the mayor and the councillors have to operate like a board of directors. Set governance, set a vision that's a strong vision of growth and freedom and liberty and opportunity, and then work towards it with your staff. Let your good people get there by implementing it, and absolutely hold them accountable. Let them understand what the deliverables are, the dates are, and what has to happen. But stay out of the weeds. But make sure that long-term vision is set there. Jay and Paul, I've done quite a bit of polling of Medicine Hatters, and the 3 most important things to Medicine Hatters right now is number 1, lack of jobs and opportunities. Number 2, property taxes being too high. And number 3, crime and homelessness. Medicine Hat is I think the last census showed we'd only grown 11 people in 5 years. We only have about 10 housing starts a year, while the rest of Alberta is booming. And we have a beautiful place, beautiful weather, lots of great recreation on two major highways, 1 and 3, 3 to Lethbridge and into Crow's Nest Pass in British Columbia. And we shouldn't be stagnant. Plus, we have a lot of natural gas and our own electric generation. So in the world of transportation, in the world of warehousing hubs, and in the world of data centers, we should be growing. So I am going to get reasonable, manageable growth, 2,000, 2,500 people a year, and so more of our kids and our grandkids and our spouses can stay here to find work. Property taxes, City of Medicine Hat per capita spending is very high. We were fortunate to make money generating electricity and selling it to the rest of the province the last few years. And our council has come along with two property taxes totaling about 11.2%. And Medicine Hatters just can't afford it. Never mind even the ones that could, they should have that liberty and freedom to spend their money the way they want. So I'm running on 3 years of property tax increase freeze. I'm going to reverse the 5.6% increase that they have planned for next year. And for the first 3 years, no property tax increases at all. And thirdly, crime and homelessness. It's sad, it's unfortunate, but there has to be 150 to 250 homeless people throughout our city. When you back up 6 or 8 years ago, there was none or almost none. Crime has ballooned. Safety is a concern, and so with compassion, we have to help those that need it and those with vagrancy and trespassing issues. But if we have running into situations, and it's happening lots, where people are breaking the law, break and enters, theft, those kind of things, we have to come up with a system where our police force and our system holds them accountable. And that kind of behavior is not welcome in Medicine Hat. And those are the three things I'm going to be focusing on. But again, not using strong mayor powers or anything, just setting the direction for good employees to follow.
Fantastic. And
Yeah.
now we have a question.
Yeah.
Here.
I know it's a touchy subject that can affect a candidate's popularity, but will Drew bring up the UN and ICLEI in his campaign? That would give Medicine Hat millions in savings.
Yes, it is a touchy subject for sure, and I will answer all questions that come this way for sure. And the United Nations, when I was elected in 2012, the Progressive Conservative government of Alberta had put in the Alberta Land Stewardship Act to make it so they could expropriate land or the covenants that are with land without access to due process, access to the courts, or without full and fair compensation. A lot of that seemed to be coming from the United Nations and their desire to have more and more land held publicly rather than privately. And so absolutely, I will be focusing on local decision making. I will be focusing on Medicine Hatters' opportunity to work hard, keep their money, and grow our city.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Any of these international organizations, when they try and get involved, swaying mayors, swaying councillors, sometimes even just flat out confusing them. They need to be educated. They need to know what ICLEI's about, UNDRIP, and all these other programs that are targeting the land and targeting municipalities and how they zone and run their business. So I really appreciate that you are aware of the UN, what they're doing. Even way back when it wasn't cool to talk about the UN, you were keeping an eye on them.
Thank you. Yeah, it starts locally, and it starts with helping your family and your neighbor.
Fantastic. So we got to wrap up here. And again, sorry about the bad link. That was my bad. I take responsibility. That wasn't the UN. You can't blame them for that one. That was my bad. But do you have any last messages for Medicine Hatters? Is that how you say it? Medicine Hatters? Like what do you call it?
Medicine Hatters. I guess I'm asking for their support, and I'm going to be absolutely clear. I will put their interests first and foremost. Medicine Hat. We abandoned our competitive advantage years ago of low utilities, cheap taxes, the best place to live, and we're suffering under a council now that's very, very dysfunctional. I will provide the leadership that will allow for individual families and growth, and Medicine Hat to be the best place to live and raise a family.
God bless you, Drew. Thank you very much for your support for your local community, and also the work you did provincially.
Mm-hmm.
As tough as it was, you did the right thing. You were one of the ones that caved to pressure, and you made sure you didn't cross that floor. So thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciated your time yesterday, and I'm looking forward to your coming up.
Have a great day, Drew.
Thank you, Paula and Jay. You guys as well. Bye for now.
Bye.
He's a good man. Push this button. There we go. Well, there you are, folks. Sorry about, I lost a couple minutes with Drew. That was my bad, not his bad. So don't, penalize him at the voting booth for that one. That was me, 100%. But thank you all for joining us today. It was a lot of fun to do this on the road. Yep.
And before I forget, very important shout out. Happy belated 45th wedding anniversary to Pietra and Francesca. They've been great supporters of the show over the years, and we were fortunate enough to meet them. But yes, it was their wedding anniversary on Saturday, so the 23rd, same as Brody and Jenna. But happy 45th wedding anniversary to you guys.
Congratulations to them. They are very good supporters. We love them. We met them in person in Calgary, and hopefully we'll meet them again soon.
Yep.
Well, have yourself a great day, and thanks to our boys who stayed in bed. Appreciate that. We're going to see them right now.
Yeah.
And we'll see you again tomorrow with Maxime Bernier,
Bruce Party,
and another guest. We'll introduce you to a new one. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Take care, and God bless.